Hi, this is Neeraj Malik. I'm Microsoft certified and project management certified professional. I'm currently working at Dow Jones as the project lead for the data warehousing application. And today I'm going to present a demo about Microsoft Business Intelligence Suite. So during the demo, I'm going to talk about what exactly is business intelligence, how different organizations use business intelligence solutions, what are the challenges come on the way while implementing the business intelligence solutions, how Microsoft Business Intelligence helps in overcoming some of those challenges, and what are the different core components of MSBI and the architecture of MSBI. So let's start with the formal definition of business intelligence. As per Wikipedia, business intelligence is a set of methodologies, processes, architectures, and the technologies that transform the data into a meaningful and useful information. Now that's way too formal. In simple words, business intelligence transforms the organization's raw data into a useful information to help in making better decisions. Now, if I have to give example how different organizations can use business intelligence to perform better or make better decisions about their business, will be, for example, the organization can use the BI solution to track customer behavior. For example, what type of customer, what gender of customers are purchasing what type of product during what type of sales event and during what time of the day. That's a very useful insight about the customer behavior. Now, the sales department can use to see the trends about how the sales are doing over a certain period of time. They can find out where they're lagging, the different factors, why they're lagging, and they can try to improve that. The marketing department can track the various marketing campaigns using the AI solutions, see how effective were the campaigns and what type of customers are feeling more attracted toward what type of marketing campaign. So those are some of the examples how the organizations are using BI solutions in today's world. Now, what type of technical challenges come on the way while we go out and start thinking about implementing the business intelligence solution? The first and the biggest challenge is multiple data stores. Different departments or the business units in any organization are using different applications and vendor products to perform their day-to-day operations. Those applications have their own backend databases, and those databases are not related to each other by any means. They may, or let me put it this way, they may or may not be related. The business rules implemented on those applications and the databases are different for each of applications. And when we start thinking about implementing an enterprise-wide data warehousing solution, the toughest part is to integrate the data from all those various data stores. And because the data may be in different formats, the business rules are different, the keys are different, the data may not be related. What is the logic to actually relate that data? All those kind of complexities coming into the way. The second biggest challenge is the data view. Now, as I just told about the different solutions in the previous point. Now, the different applications have their own backend databases, and when we run the reports on all those different data stores, the numbers comes out different. And when the the business decision makers look at those reports, they get nothing other than confusion. They don't know which one to believe. Not that any of those are wrong, but they are different, and they're different because they have different business rules applied to them. So it does not give a clear idea about the data. The enterprise-wide solution helps in making one single business view of the data. And this is the biggest challenge to overcome. common terminology. Different departments use different terminology for the same term. For example, the sales territory. The sales department have different regions coming under their defined sales territory, while the billing have different sales territory under their different regions under their defined sales territory. So if I have to pull the report, I'm certainly not looking at the same sales territory and the numbers are not matching. Again, that's confusing for the business, and the business decision makers cannot make decisions based on the confusing reports. Now, the first two items I talked about, those are more toward the business challenges. Then there are some technical challenges as well. The first is fragmentation. The core components of any BI solution are like ETL, analytics engine, reporting solution, and there are different vendor products available in the market for each of these core components. Not all of these vendor products get integrated with each other. They don't get along sometimes. For example, the performance of one is way too fast while the other is lacking the performance, even though that's cheaper in the price. So all those kind of fragmentation issues come into the picture when we are implementing the BI solution with different vendor products for each core component. Inflexible. The heart of any BI solution is implementation of the business rules. Not all the analytics engine or the analytics tool available in the market are flexible enough to implement the business rules. Last but not least, cost. I just talked about fragmentation, like how different component or different module of BI can be implemented with different vendor product. Now, when I'm saying different product, it's not just the integration part. I'm talking about the cost for buying the licenses for 3 or 4 different vendor products. Not only the licenses, I'm also thinking about hiring the resources with the skill set for those 3 or 4 specific vendor products. All those add up, and the cost plays a big role in making the mind about which solution to go with. Now, how Microsoft Business Intelligence Suite help in overcoming some of these challenges. The first and the biggest challenge was the large data from various sources. Now, those data sources, the operational databases can be anything. It can be Excel. Users are just saving data in the Excel. It can be Oracle-based application. It can be SQL Server-based application. It can be MySQL, PHP, anything. Microsoft Business Intelligence comes out with connector to connect to any of these data sources and collect data in a very efficient way. That solves half of the problems. Supported by BI applications. Now, Microsoft Business Intelligence Suite is XML exposed as XML, which makes it usable by almost all the vendor products available in the market. For example, if I'm using my Microsoft Business Intelligence Analytics component, the output can be exposed as XML and it can be taken up by any reporting solution, which makes it very, very much flexible, very robust. Powerful calculation engine. I just talked about the heart of the business intelligence being the implementation of business rules. Now, Microsoft Business Intelligence Suite comes out with very powerful calculation engine. And that, with the robust calculation engine, the business rules can be implemented very efficiently and the results can be very quick. Rich and easily understood model. One of the challenges which comes in while implementing the BI solution is training the business users. Now, with Microsoft Business Intelligence, half of that problem is solved because most of the users are familiar with the different Microsoft Office tools available on their desktop immediately. And with that, users can just just connect to the analytics engine and run their ad hoc queries or their various analysis and slicing and dicing in their Excel itself. That's a very powerful tool to provide to the users without any formal training. Interactive query performance over large volume of data. Now, when we're talking about the enterprise-wide data warehousing solution, we are talking about the size in terms of terabytes and terabytes of data. It's not just like any operational database where you have maybe a couple of 100 GB data and you just run the queries directly. When we're looking at terabytes of data, the analytics engine or the reporting solution should be efficient enough to run the queries, to provide the results within reasonable time so that users don't have to wait for 2 days to get the data which they need today. That's where the MSBI come into the picture. It is very much capable of running the very efficient queries on large volumes of data without any optimal use of indexes. Mission critical applications. Some of the BI solutions are very much important for the business. The business really depend on those reports. Let's put it that way. And Microsoft Business Intelligence plays very important role on the mission critical applications. The 4 major components of any mission critical application are reliability, manageability, scalability, and the security. And Microsoft have done very good job in implementing all of these features in MSBI. I'll talk a little bit about each of them. Reliability and availability. The latest version of MSBI comes out with the capability of 16 node clusters. What that means is if the primary node goes down, the secondary node up to 16 servers can take up the primary role without any outage experienced by the end users. And that's very, very important for the business users for the mission critical applications. Manageability. MSBI comes with the user tools which are very helpful for the developers and the administrators to keep the application up and running 24/7. Scalability. Scalability is one of the most important features in today's world, especially in the data warehousing world. And Microsoft Business Intelligence is scalable in terms of vertical and horizontally. When I say horizontal, we can start with a 2-node cluster and it can be expanded to 16-node cluster without any downtime. And when I'm talking about vertical, the storage can be expanded without any downtime any time of the day. The next item is security. Microsoft have worked very diligently to come up with a very secure model for the MSBI. The security is implemented on each and every step of the data warehousing process and the data flow. I'll be talking more about the security when I'm talking in detail about the various core components of the MSBI tools. Now, to talk briefly about the overall BI components. What is the general architecture for any BI application? Any BI application is consisted of three major components: data integration, data analysis, and the reports. Now, the integration it's actually the ETL component. What it does is it collects the data, it integrates the data from the various data sources. It performs the transformation on the data and load them to the enterprise-wide data warehousing solution. When I'm saying transformation, I'm actually referring about the cleansing of the data. I'll explain that with an example. The phone number can be saved in different operational applications in different format, even though the number of digits in US for a phone number can be only 10. So one application is saving them as 123-123-1234. The other application might be saving it as 123-123-1234. Another one may be saving it as bracket 123 close bracket 123-1234. Now, having the same information in different formats does not make it very useful and very user friendly, to be honest. So with the different transformations and the data cleansing components, we clean the data to make it a consistent format. And for example, in this case, if the business wants the phone number in the format of 123-123-1234, we will be transforming all the different formats into this format so that the data looks consistent. Now, Data analysis part. Most of the data is saved in the enterprise data warehousing solution with desired formats. We need to run the different business logic and perform the data mining. Reports. Once the data analysis part is done, the cubes are ready. We want to display the report. And that's where the reporting solution come into the picture. The report should be available for large mass of business so that 10 different users can access the same report at the same time without any performance issue. Now, how does Microsoft Business Intelligence help with all of the help in implementing a complete BI solution? As I told you earlier, there are different vendor products for each of these components. They may or may not get well with each other alone. They can be integrated very well, but we are also looking at the cost-effective product. That's where the SQL Server, Microsoft Business Intelligence Suite come into the picture. SSIS is the integration tool. SQL Server Analysis Service is the analytics engine. And SQL Server Reporting Service is the reporting solution. And all of these three are the core component of the Microsoft Business Intelligence, and they come for free of cost with the SQL Server Enterprise Edition with no extra cost. So in a way, if you look, we are not only saving money on the BI solution product, we are also saving money on the skill sets and the different licensing. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So if you look at this picture, it will show you the different data, the specific data flow for enterprise-wide data warehousing solution. And you can see that the data source can be anything from raw data to Oracle to SQL. Then it goes through the ETL process using the SQL Server Integration Solution tool. And it gets loaded to the analytics engine, which is SQL Server Analysis Service. And then finally, the reports are produced out of analytics engine using SSRS, which is the SQL Server Reporting Services. And those reports can be available to users in any format and on any portal. Like the reports can be web reports, the report can be dashboards, there can be pivot report or anything. So the point is, the SQL Server comes out with the Microsoft Business Intelligence Suite as out of box, and all the three major components of any business intelligence solutions are available in one packet. We don't need different resources, and we don't need to buy different licenses for each product to serve one specific purpose. Now, that being said, I also want to clarify one point here, that even though these three are the core component of Microsoft Business Intelligence Suite, they don't really have to be used together all the time. For example, if one company is using if one company is using some other analytics engine, they can still use SSIS as their ETL tool. If some company is using Business Object as their reporting solution, they can still use SSAS as their analytics engine, and SSAS can easily be connected to Business Object to generate the reports. So it's highly recommended to use all three because they are free of cost with SQL Server Enterprise Edition, complete BI solution. But if some company have already existing implementations for some of their component, they can totally feel free to use one component for one specific purpose. Now, I want to talk a little bit more detail about each of these components. I'll start with SQL Server Integration Services, also called as SSIS. As I told earlier, SSIS is the ETL tool, and it's a core part of Microsoft Business Intelligence. When I say ETL, I'm talking about extractions, transformations, and loading. The extraction part, SQL Server Integration Services handles it very well. It can connect to diverse set of data sources. It can be XML, it can be Excel, it can be Oracle, it can be any other relational database. I also explained briefly about the transformations, how important they are for formatting the data and cleansing the data. SSIS performs a very good job in transformations. It comes out of box for the for majority of the transformations required on day-to-day data loading process. The transformations help in actually transforming the data, but it also comes out with a task to split the data based on various conditions and the business rules. Now, not all the business logic can be implemented with all the transformations coming out in the ETL tools. And as I was telling earlier, implementation of the business rules is the heart of any business intelligence application. SSIS comes out with the script component. Using that, we can write any custom code to implement any business logic using C# or .NET, VB.NET, and it can be integrated very well with SSIS. Finally, the performance. SSIS can load the data to various data sources in a parallel fashion. That makes it very efficient and performance optimized. The next item I want to talk about is SSAS, which is SQL Server Analysis Service. SSAS is the analytics engine and the mining server as part of Microsoft Business Intelligence Suite. The data is saved in form of cube. And what is a cube? So cube is a multi-dimensional storage of the data. And the difference is when we talk about a relational database, we're looking at just 2 dimensions of the database. For example, what are my sales? What are my sales in month of January? But with multi-dimensional storage, we can slice the data with various formats and get very specific answers. For example, get me all the sales in month of January where the customer is of gender male or female and a specific age group of 16 to 32, and they are in specific zip code of that particular area. So that capability is very robust for making any business decision. Based on that decision, the company can run specific marketing campaign targeting just the required set of customers to have to be more effective campaign. And because the values are saved and the numbers are saved in the cube as pre-aggregated and pre-calculated, the response is lightning fast. Now, as I was telling about SSAS can also be connected to diverse set of data sources. It does not have to be connected to SQL Server only. It can connect to Teradata or any relational database or any other Excel or XML to get the data, perform the analytics and the mining operations. As the other core tools, SSAS is also exposed as XML. So what it means by exposed as XML is it can be consumed very easily by any other vendor product, or the data can be analyzed in any other format, like even in Excel, the users can connect to the cube directly and run their analytics queries. Now, I also want to talk about the security implementation on SSAS. The security is implemented as Windows integrated security. So it makes it a lot easier to administer the security on the cubes. We can create the specific Windows groups and then give permissions to those specific groups about what cube they can access within the cube, what a specific set of users can do, what are the dimensions which are available for any user, what are the measures they can see, even what is the cell level data, we can put security on that. And as it is a server, multiple users can connect to the cubes at the same time. The last component of the Microsoft Business Intelligence Suite is a reporting solution, and that actually completes any BI solution. SQL Server can connect to any data source. It does not have to connect to just the analytics engine. The reports can be coming out of any relational database also. The reports can be generated in any format, like it can be a web report, it can be XML, it can be a PDF. The method of delivery can be anything. It can be email. We can schedule the reports to be automatically generated and emailed to any specific business users at any specific time. The reports are exposed as web services, so we can use the web service in any custom application to pull the reports. The SSRS can be very easily integrated with SharePoint solutions so that users don't have to access a separate reporting portal just to get the reports. The SSRS reports are also exposed as XML, so it can be easily integrated with any custom application or any other vendor product. And as again, the security, it is Windows integrated. It's a role-based security model in SSRS. We have the read-only access, like the specific set of users can just see the saved reports. We can limit them to see any specific number of reports. We can have another group who have access to even execute the reports and create their own reports. Then the admin level users can have permissions to give permissions to other users. So it's a very secure model. Now, we just talked about what are the core components of MSBI. In last, I also want to talk about what are the upcoming features of MSBI, what Microsoft is focusing on on the upcoming versions. And the answer is big data. That's the word. Semi-structured, unstructured data, text analytics, semantics, metadata. Microsoft is doing a very detailed analysis to come up with these features in the upcoming versions. And some of the products which are already available in the market are Hive SQL, Hadoop connector, and the cloud. There are others also, but going for the big data is out of scope for MSBI, at least at this point. So I would be keeping it for my next demo. And I want to thank you all for taking time and reading taking the time and joining this demo with me. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach me at neeraj.malik@cognizant.com. Thank you.